versus everybody. Remember that scene? Remember all that excitement Sevilla showed in that game? Probably from the second half to the final whistle, those exact scenes. Unai Emery and his Sevilla squad celebrating being victorious over Klopp, getting another final at the time. I can't remember which one it was, but it was another final. And fast forward to Madrid, another Spanish team beat us by the same score. Um, they've got their Arsenal back, is what I keep hearing, what I hear them chant. They've got their Arsenal back. It's up to Liverpool to show them that they need to pump the brakes and they need to realize that. Jason, what's going on, man? By the way, this is not a homoerotic scene. I just have my shirt on. I just got out of the showers. Anyone's curious, so wanted to come and bring you guys some fresh material that was on my mind. And although I think their Arsenal back in terms of this kind of swinging football they have that they're playing now, just swinging. There's no real issues. A lot of the players that may have had some kind of up and down games. What's up, Mame? Mesut Ozil, who still has up and down games, is seeming to be happier. Maybe the fans are happy, and that's that. Look, at the end of the day, that's what you want as a fan, and so I can't knock them for that. But it's our job to bring them back on the earth, and you know. Mommy said we have to make a statement. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. It's a big game. I feel like every game is the biggest game of our season now, especially knowing the team that we are chasing after and how their standards are so high. But it's another test. It's another really really good test. I find it strange that so many Arsenal fans, seemingly some Liverpool fans, think that this is going to somehow be a higher scoring game based on what they rude away playing that Unai Emery wants to play. More or less, we know feeds into our hands. And I think we'll enjoy a good time with pressing them and things of that nature. I don't know what their left back, right back situation is looking like, but they can be got at. Even the games they won this season, and look, we get it. You win the games how you win them, and that's all that matters. But even in games against like Watford, West Ham, there are lots of chances those teams had to take that game away early in the game, and they didn't do it. So really, it's about what we're familiar with, having chances, maybe squandering some of them, and hoping that on this day we can be at the top of our game. We can be at the top of our game. So it's a familiar foe in Unai Emery. Different team totally to the team he had at Sevilla. There's this idea that somehow he worked some kind of masterclass at halftime and really, really just blew us away. The game wasn't really like that. Again, in that final, we had a lot of chances and chances to be up more than one. Other than that Sturridge wonder shot from far out that now reminds me a bit of the Chelsea when he had this season. So familiar foe. Unai Emery's a good manager. I don't know. I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice, or maybe disservice to him, disrespect to him, to think that because he didn't survive in PSG, that it was necessarily him that was a bad manager, or he was the reason why they didn't do well. I think he's going through some of the same things that Thomas Tuchel is going through, and that is no real competition in their league. And when it comes to European, they don't really have much to show for it. So I look for us to be look for them shock the football world, if you will, at least the Premier League world, and pull one over us. At the end of the day, for me, it comes really down to the two defenses, and they would have never seen a defense like this. I don't want to dramatize it or make it bigger than what it is, but it's just the facts. The defense this season for Liverpool is real. It's real, and so I think Arsenal and the way they set up could be a 4-2-3-1, but I feel like, and this might be crazy, but I think Aubameyang will come off the bench. If they play 4-2-3-1 with Aubameyang on the wing, that's not going to work for them. He was fortunate to be in the right place at the right time to receive a handball assist from his teammate Lacazette to get a goal. But you can see that they really aren't troubling teams that much. And then when you do that, you put a Iwobi on the right, which so far this season he's been so great on the left. I've talked about their halftime adjustments and then being a better second half team. So to me, this is pretty cut and dry. You get an open jump on them quick, you get the goals, and I think by halftime, if it's 2-1, 2-0 even, um, maybe more than that, nil, I think they're gonna have a hard time really finding some joy in this game. Can we stop them? I think it's a lot of people. It's a question a lot of people are asking. Do we put Gomez at right back? I think we do. I don't think I want to, but I think that's what Klopp goes with. Um, Jason says their defense is seriously whack. It is holding the Holding, Holding, and Mustafi. Oh please, especially Mustafi. I think Holding has done really well. Made a good account of himself for a young player. And between the two, he's definitely been the better. I think. The time at Arsenal. William, hey man, I think this is more of a test for Arsenal than it is for Liverpool. Big up from Kenya. Kenya, big up, man. Appreciate that. We're catching the body tomorrow. Yeah, I believe so. I really, really think Liverpool could be on it. Here's my lineup for Liverpool. Allison, of course. Ramses, Becker is going to be in goal. I think right back is going to be Gomez. I know a lot of us want to see Gomez get back with Van Dijk, and that if you'd watch the Bezies thing they had between each other, to see how Van Dijk said he loved clean sheets. Now all defenders do, all goalies do, all of them say it, but Van Dyke, when he talked about clean sheets, and even Allison after the game against Cardiff, I mean, we at the end of the game it was 4-1, but he was pissed off that we didn't keep a clean sheet. But to hear Van Dyke talk about a clean sheet was almost like he was talking about, you know, his mom, one of his favorite home cooked meals from his mom. It was like, I look great. I have to have this clean sheet, and that's the attitude you've seen in this defense every single game. You know, we got to do our part. We know the front guys are going to do their part, call it rocky early starts or whatever, but you know they're going to at some point click on and get the goals. We have to make sure we can set up shop. And I think in a game like this, it's really going to be tricky to see how Klopp lines up. But yeah, Allison, I think Gomez at the right back. I think Lovren and Van Dyke. I think that's an easy choice. Robertson, and I was kind of happy. I mean, I wanted into Hill and all that, but I'm kind of excited that we don't have a Brexit midfield of like Lallana, Milner, and Henderson. Looks like Henderson's going to miss another week, another game or two. Same with Naby. And so it looks pretty obvious, but here's the thing. Do we Shaqiri from the jump? Or do we feel better in a game like this if there's a situation where we need some spark off the bench, if the game is really close, if it's like people think 2-2, 3-3, you need another goal, whatever the case may be? Would you prefer him come off the bench? I know I would. You know, I'm hoping the game doesn't even come to that. I don't think Shakir will play midweek against Red Star. There's a lot of stuff about that, him going back to Serbia, the World Cup thing, whatever. But I think it's best for him to come off the bench. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Holding mid, I'm going with Fab. I'm going with Fab, and in that three, he hasn't really played that as good as he's played it in the pivot. I think the only time he's played it actually was in the Chelsea game. I think that was a 4-3-3, and he wasn't the best. It didn't really show the best of his skills. But I think it'll be Fab, Genie, and I think it'll be Milner. I think that'll be the midfield. I'd hate to see Lalana again. My hands are up when it comes to Klopp. When he makes choices, I go with it. I accept it, and I'm optimistic for the best. But I think in this game to see Fabinho in another consecutive game against a team that maybe you would think, is he going to be? You know, we played Cardiff, we played Red Star. Is that a good barometer of how good he can be against teams who pretty much aren't playing any football? They're just soaking up the pressure and see what they can get. A team like Arsenal is going to come at you. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think that will be the midfield, and then the front three is Salah, Firmino, and Mane. You can make a case for the 4-2-3-1 and have Shaqiri more of that 10 where Firmino's been playing when Salah's been up top, and then have Firmino back in his normal position with Salah and Mane, and then Genie and Fab holding. I know some of us will probably put Trent back there at right back and put Gomez in the middle. I just think to essentially have three center backs against a team that Klopp will go in thinking, hey, they can hurt us, whether they start Aubameyang and Lacazette together or not. But specifically, they do. I think that's probably their best bet to get anything out of this game. I think it'll come off the bench because I just think Unai Emery loves that 4-2-3-1, and it's obvious to see that Aubameyang doesn't really work as that left-sided winger in that 4-2-3. It just doesn't. It doesn't work. And I think we'll probably see Aaron Ramsey. Before he leaves Arsenal, we get to see one good shot of him against us before he leaves Arsenal, and see what he's really about. But I think Xhaka will probably play at that fullback spot again because of the injuries they have. They don't really have any choice now. If they want to throw in Maitland Niles, or I don't know if Kolasinac is back full fit. It looks like Bellerin picked up something. Lichtsteiner. They don't have a lot of options. What I do know is that again, Mustafi is a liability. So look, both wings, maybe we will see Mane a bit more on that right side, kind of like Palace did with Zaha at some point in the game. You float him over to the right, you float Townsend to the left, and try to see what we can get from Xhaka. I think one of them or both of them are both liable to make a really boneheaded decision in the box and give us a foul, a penalty or whatever. So, look, this game could be really tight. It could be, a game where it's monkey see, monkey do. It's really close, and teams are trying to figure each other out. I'm hoping it's not the same similar situation to City, but I think Unai Emery would be smart, and it seems crazy because their defense isn't great, but to try to build more on being solid at the back, however way you can do that. I don't see him sitting back, but I think if he wants to get something out of this game, maybe he'll think go guns blazing, see what we can get. Let's test this defense that's supposed to be so good. Let's test Van Dijk. Let's test Gomez, Trent if he's playing. So Lovren. So there's no way to really know what they're gonna do. If I know Emery enough, I know he trusted in his tactics, and I know that he's gonna want to play and continue playing the way they've been playing, which is getting goals, getting his athletic forward guys on the pitch together. Could Mkhitaryan start? I don't know. Torreira in the midfield is tough for them. It'd be nice to see the heavyweight battles that him and Genie or him and Fab or him and whoever else is playing in the midfield go through, and I think that'll be a really integral part of the game. And I think if Xhaka is playing left back and Aaron Ramsey is in the midfield, I think that's a midfield that we can really, really have a good time with. I think we can be really physical with them. Torreira is going to be a challenge always. He's a pit bull in the middle of the park. I think Ramsey isn't the most physical guy, isn't the most tough guy necessarily with his physique. But, I think, all in all, it'll be a great game. I have a low scoring game, and I have it. I thought about it. I thought a lot about it, and I think it'll be 2-0. That's my final score prediction, 2-0. And I've got a goal from Van Dijk from a set piece, and I've got a goal from Firmino, who hasn't scored in a couple. That's my thing. I said 3-0 the other day. I feel like it still could be that. I feel like it'd be 4-1, 4-0. I think they're going to have some chances. Guendouzi is out with the card against Blackpool. Yeah, he won't be playing. And I think he's been really good for them lately. He's not physical in the midfield, but, I want the double pivot again with Genie and Fab, says Jason. Yeah, can Lovren be trusted against the pace of Aubameyang? Or like I said, listen, I think Lovren's proven. Listen, he's been in a couple games this season. The games he's been in, there's been some moments that he's caused. There's been some moments that the defensive issues that the defense has had, and he's been playing. I don't know if he's been the cause of that or what, but at the end of the day, having Allison back there and this kind of this serious, like almost crazy passion and dedication and obsession they have with these clean sheets. I mean, it's really really good to hear. And again, I know all players say that, but you really feel this with Allison and Van Dijk that it's really something that they make it their business to try to get every single game. And so far they've been doing pretty well. Besides the goal at Cardiff, in my mind, fluke at the end of the day. The mistake that Alisson makes against Leicester, and then the other goal was, I guess, Tottenham. That game was a trash throwaway game, and it kind of flattered people to see that final score. But yeah, a lot of good comments I'm seeing in here, guys. I appreciate that. See, I don't think Klopp trusts Fab to play as a sole six. Yeah, and I agree with that. That's why I don't think it'll be a 4-3-3. I've heard a lot of podcasts, different Liverpool supporters thinking that it'll be back to 4-3-3. And if it is, there are a lot of times in that game where Fab looks pretty comfortable going forward. So do we have Genie there holding and Fab and Milner? I think that's something worth trying. But this is it. This is it. Players are injured, and you got a squad, and you got to see what guys can do against different opposition. So I'm really excited to see that. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. But that's it, guys. Not a whole lot. Just wanted to come and touch bases on a few things. I'm just overexcited about this game. I can't wait. It's 1:30 here in the afternoon. I was hoping it was one of the early games, but that's probably the best thing. And again, getting out that Carabao Cup or Kentucky Fried Chicken Cup or whatever it's called, I think will end up being a blessing in disguise. This much rest we've had up into this game to figure out how to break down Arsenal. I'm sure they've been watching a lot of footage, a lot of training, also recuperating as well, resting guys up. But would have had a lot of time to really, really make a game plan. We know Klopp is, yes, the title is the manager of football club, but we know Klopp is he's a coach. He's a coach's coach, and he loves to spend this kind of time to try to sink his teeth into the opposition and see where they can be hurt and see where maybe Arsenal could try to hurt us. And so, really, really just excited about it. Milner hasn't played a lot, and so I think he'll have some pretty strong legs up under him. We know he's got that pretty much naturally anyway, being he's so fit and things of that nature, get around the pitch. So looking for a mean performance tomorrow. Really, really looking for a really hungry, nasty, determined performance looking forward to. Jason says we haven't had a top pro center back since Sam Hippie. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you didn't say Carragher. Yeah. And Virgil van Dijk is truly a gift. He's truly a gift, and what they say is just not kind of a hashtag or some kind of just thing to throw out. He's really improved. I think just the whole confidence, this whole togetherness of the back four, back five, and I think they all just believe in each other, and it's nothing to sneeze at when you this idea of having such a commanding guy in the back there, and that keeper, and I think for the longest time that was some of the issues because they're not even really getting shots on our defense at all. Not only are we not conceding, but they're not even really getting good shots. And so they say things of Allison's not really being in trouble, but that's because the defense has been really amazing. And even when he has been troubled or he's had moments to show himself, by and large, if not more, he's done it. And so, again, that I keep thumping on about this defense, but it's worth being thumped on about because they just continue to step up in every game, continue to step up, and it's almost like the notch is going higher and higher. And I think that you can say that about the team collectively. So this whole we're back, I don't really fall into that as far as scoring goes. I think we've never been gone. I just think we've been unfortunate, made a lot of problems for ourselves as far as getting goals, missing just these kind of key moments. A lot of times there's been players in that kind of mix that haven't been consistent with each other, maybe training, but not in game time. So there's a bunch of different reasons why you can see why things weren't necessarily clicking. But at the end of the day, I'll take a 1-0 is really what I'm saying. But I think tomorrow we can look for this team to really continue to show passion, no let ups, and this kind of full week of training and practicing, really showing in the game tomorrow. Jason says Carragher was okay, but he was just a brute. Sammy and Virgil van Dijk are from the same cloth. Yeah, top professionals. Well said, Jason. Michael Thompson says Virgil van Dijk is the most loved Liverpool player in my area. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I think depending on where you go, or some aspects of the world, or some parts of the world, I think Robertson could be it. People love Robertson. Of course, Bobby Firmino, Salah, Mane. So it's just good. It's just good, man. When you have this many characters in the team, and they've got us excited to see them every single game, every single moment, whether it's during the week in Champions League or at the weekend. So. Just really excited about it. Can't wait to get back to you guys tomorrow for the prediction, or not the prediction, the lineup that comes out confirmed as the word I was looking for, a confirmed lineup, and then halftime, then at the end of the whistle. So let's stay encouraged, let's stay optimistic, and let's just really look for a good match, but a match that hopefully by halftime is far out of reach for Arsenal, and we've yet again put them at their misery at the Emirates. Till then.